Hello students, my name is Anjum Ali. I am PGT Economics at केंद्रीय विद्यालय तालबेट. वेलकम यू अवर चैनल टॉप टिप्स. आज हम इंडियन इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट की यूनिट 8 जो एनुअल एग्ज़ाम में 6 मार्क्स की आती है, डेवलपमेंट एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ इंडिया के बारे में जानेंगे, जिसमें ए कंपेरिजन विद नेबर्स इंडिया एंड पाकिस्तान, इंडिया एंड चाइना, इश्यूज इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ, पॉपुलेशन, सेक्टोरल डेवलपमेंट एंड अदर ह्यूमन डेवलपमेंट इंडिकेटर्स के बारे में पढ़ेंगे. तो हम सबसे पहले इंट्रोडक्शन से स्टार्ट करते हैं. इंट्रोडक्शन को हमने 3 पार्ट में डिवाइड किया है, ए, बी एंड सी. सबसे पहले ए, ग्लोबलाइजेशन लीड्स टू इकोनॉमिक ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन. Over the last 2 decades or so, the economic transformation that is taking place in different countries across the world, partially because of the process of globalization, has both short and long-term implications for each country, including India. Second point is formation of regional and global economic groups. Nations have been primarily trying to adopt various means which will strengthen their own domestic economies. To this effect, they are forming regional and global economic grouping such as the SHARC, European Union, ASEAN, G8, G20, BRICS, etc. Third C point is significance of the study. Why understanding of neighboring economies is also required. तो इसको हमने 3 पार्ट में डिवाइड किया है. सबसे पहले हम जानते हैं टू अंडरस्टैंड द development process. There is an increasing eagerness on the parts of various nations to try and understand the development process pursued by their neighboring nations, as it allows them to better compare their own strengths and weaknesses in relation to their neighbors. Second point is to face competition. In the unfolding process of globalization, this is particularly considered essentially by developing countries as they face competition not only from developing nations but also amongst themselves in the relatively limited economic space enjoyed by the developing world. Third point is human development. An understanding of the other economies in our neighborhood is also required, as all major common economic activities in the region do affect the all over ह्यूमन डेवलपमेंट इन ए शेयर्ड एनवायरनमेंट. इंट्रोडक्शन के बाद हम जानते हैं डेवलपमेंट पाथ और सिमिलरिटीज़ ऑफ इंडिया, पाकिस्तान एंड चाइना. इसको हमने 4 पार्ट में डिवाइड किया है. तो सबसे पहले जानते हैं हम स्टार्टिंग टुवर्ड्स डेवलपमेंट पाथ. ऑल द 3 नेशंस हैव स्टार्टेड देयर डेवलपमेंट पाथ एट ऑलमोस्ट द सेम टाइम. India and Pakistan became independent nations in 1947. People's Republic of China was established in 1949. Second point is planning of development strategy. All 3 countries had started planning their development strategies in similar way. India announced its first 5-year plan for 1951 to 56. Pakistan announced its first 5-year plan in 1956 and China announced its first 5-year plan in 1953. Third point is adopted similar strategies. India and Pakistan adopted similar strategies such as creating a large public sector and raising public expenditure on social development. Fourth point is similar growth rates. Till the 1980s, all the 3 countries had similar growth rates and per capita incomes. Where do India, China and Pakistan stand today in comparison to one another? To answer this question, we have to examine and analyze the historic path of development policies in China and Pakistan. So, we are first China development path. तो सबसे पहले हम डेवलपमेंट पाथ चाइना के बारे में जानते हैं. इसको सबसे पहले हम देखते हैं. फर्स्ट पॉइंट इज गवर्नमेंट कंट्रोल. आफ्टर द establishment of People's Republic of China. Under one party rule, all critical sector of the economy, enterprises and lands owned and operated by individuals were brought under government control. Second point is Great Leap Forward. A program named the Great Leap Forward campaign was initiated by Mao Zedong in 1958. Great Leap Forward program aimed at industrialization the country on a massive scale. It means rapid transformation of the country from an agrarian economy into a socialist society through rapid industrialization. Under GLF, people were encouraged to set up industries in their backyards. In rural areas, commune were started. यहाँ पर कम्यून का क्या मीनिंग होता है ये अच्छे से जान लेते हैं. Known as people's communes in China were formerly the highest of three administrative levels in rural areas in the period from 1958 to 1982, when they were replaced by township. Communes, the largest collective units, were divided in turn into production brigades and production teams. The communes had governmental, political and economic functions. Under the commune system, people collectively cultivated lands. In 1958, there were 26,000 communes covering almost all the farm population. Next point is Great Proletarian Culture Revolution. In 1965, Mao introduced the Great Proletarian Culture Revolution. Under Great Proletarian Culture Revolution, students and professionals were sent to work and learn from the countryside. Its aim was to weed out people opposed to the communist ideology. नेक्स्ट पॉइंट इज रिफॉर्म्स इन चाइना. रिफॉर्म्स इन चाइना को हमने डिफरेंट पॉइंट्स पे डिवाइड किया है. तो सबसे पहले इंट्रोडक्शन ऑफ रिफॉर्म्स देखते हैं. द प्रेजेंट डे फास्ट इंडस्ट्रियल ग्रोथ इन चाइना कैन बी ट्रेस्ड बैक टू द रिफॉर्म्स इंट्रोड्यूस इन 1978. China introduced reforms in phases. First, initial phase. In the initial phase, reforms were initiated in agriculture, foreign trade and investment sector. In agriculture sector, communes lands were divided into small plots which were allocated to individual households. They were permitted to keep all income from the land after paying stipulated taxes. Next point is later phase. In the later phase, reforms were initiated in the industrial sector, private sector, farms in general, and township and village enterprises. Those enterprises which were owned and operated by local collectives, that is the meaning of village enterprises, in particularly were allowed to produce goods. At this stage, state-owned enterprises were made to face competition. Next point is dual pricing. The reforms process also involved dual pricing. Dual pricing means fixing the prices into two ways. First, farmers and industrial units were required to buy and sell fixed quantities of inputs and outputs on the basis of prices fixed by the government. Second, the raised inputs and outputs were purchased and sold at the market prices. Over the years, as production increased, the proportion of goods or inputs transacted in the market also increased. Next point is special economic zones, that is SEZ. In order to attract foreign investors, special economic zones were set up in China. The government has set up economic zones for the purpose of promotion exports, attracting foreign investment and importing high technology product into चाइना। तो डिफरेंट पॉइंट्स में हमने चाइना के डेवलपमेंट पाथ को समझा। आइए अब हम पाकिस्तान के डेवलपमेंट पाथ को समझते हैं। डेवलपमेंट पाथ ऑफ पाकिस्तान, इसको भी हमने डिफरेंट पॉइंट्स में डिवाइड कर लिया। सबसे पहला पॉइंट है हमारा मिक्स इकोनॉमी मॉडल। लाइक इंडिया, पाकिस्तान आल्सो फॉलोज द मिक्स इकोनॉमी मॉडल विद coexistence of public and private sectors. Second point is regulated policy framework. In the late 1950s and 1960s, Pakistan introduced a variety of regulated policy framework for import substitutions based industrialization. The policy combined tariff protection for manufacturing of consumer goods together with direct imports controls of competing imports. Next point is Green Revolution. The introduction of Green Revolution led to mechanization of agriculture. It finally led to a rise in the production of food grains. This changed the agrarian structure dramatically. Fourth point is increased role of public sector. In the 1970s, nationalization of capital goods industries took place. Next point is importance to private sector. Pakistan shifted its orientation in the late 1970s and 1980s when the major thrust areas were denationalization. Government encourage private sector. Next point is financial support. During this period, Pakistan also received financial support from Western nation and remittance from continuously increasing outflow of immigrant to the Middle East. This helped Pakistan in stimulating economic growth. The government also offered incentives to the private sector. All this created a conducive climate for new investments. And last, reforms in Pakistan was started in 1988. तो इन डिफरेंट पॉइंट्स में हमने डेवलपमेंट पाथ पाकिस्तान के बारे में जाना। आगे बढ़ते हैं। Having studied a brief outline of the development strategies of China and Pakistan, let us now compare these three countries with reference to some of the developmental indicators. There are three developmental indicators. First is demographic indicators, second gross domestic product and sectors, and third is human development indicators. So let's start first demographic indicators. We shall compare some demographic indicators of India, China and Pakistan with the help of the following points: population, density of population, growth rate of population, sex ratio, fertility rates and urbanization. तो डेमोग्राफिक इंडिकेटर्स में सबसे पहला पॉइंट है पॉपुलेशन। चाइना इज द मोस्ट पॉपुलेटेड कंट्री इन द वर्ल्ड फॉलोड बाय इंडिया। इफ यू लुक एट द ग्लोबल पॉपुलेशन, आउट ऑफ एवरी 6 person living in the world, one is an Indian and another is Chinese. The population of Pakistan is very less and accounts for roughly about 1/10 ऑफ चाइना और इंडिया। इस तरह से हम ये कह सकते हैं कि सबसे लार्जेस्ट पॉपुलेशन चाइना की है, उसके बाद इंडिया की है और उसके बाद पाकिस्तान की है। द सेकेंड पॉइंट इज डेंसिटी ऑफ पॉपुलेशन। दो चाइना इज द लार्जेस्ट नेशन एंड जोग्राफिकली occupies the largest area among the three nations, its density is lowest. Compared to India and Pakistan, the density of population is lowest in China. जहाँ इंडिया में 441 डेंसिटी है, वहीं पाकिस्तान में 245 और सबसे कम 146 चाइना में पर स्क्वायर किलोमीटर डेंसिटी है। वहीं अगर ग्रोथ रेट की बात करते हैं तो द एनुअल पॉपुलेशन ग्रोथ इज हाईएस्ट इन पाकिस्तान, दैट इज 2.1%, followed by India 1.2% and China 0.5%. The one-child norms introduced in China in the late 1970s is the major reasons for low population growth. Next point is sex ratio. Sex ratio is low and based against females in all three countries. Son preferences prevailing in all three countries is the reasons. Sex ratio is highest in Pakistan, that is 947 females per 1000 male, followed by China 941 females and India 929 females. इसका मतलब पाकिस्तान में सबसे ज़्यादा सेक्स रेशियो है, जो 1000 मेल्स पे जो फीमेल्स है वो 947 पाकिस्तान में है, सेकंड नंबर पे चाइना 941 और थर्ड नंबर पे इंडिया 929, जो कि 2015 के डाटा से लिया गया। इसके बाद है फर्टिलिटी रेट। फर्टिलिटी रेट इज डिफाइंड एज द नंबर ऑफ चिल्ड्रन बोर्न बाय ए वुमेन इन द रिप्रोडक्टिव एज, that is 15 to 45 years on an average. The fertility rate is low in China, that is 1.6 births, and very high in Pakistan, that is 3.7 births. In India, the fertility rate is 2.3 births per woman. Due to introduction of one child policy, the fertility rate in China has fallen. It means सबसे ज़्यादा पाकिस्तान, second number India and third China. And the last point is urbanization. Only 33% of Indian population is living in urban areas. Urbanization is highest in China, that is 56%. In Pakistan, only 39% people are residing in urban areas. It means China is greater than Pakistan and Pakistan greater than India urbanization. तो इस टेबल से हमने डेमोग्राफिक इंडिकेटर्स के बारे में जाना। आइए अब ग्रोथ इंडिकेटर्स के बारे में जानते हैं। ग्रोथ इंडिकेटर्स का सबसे पहला पॉइंट ग्रोथ रेट ऑफ जीडीपी। जीडीपी is the single most important indicators of an economy. China has the second largest GDP, that is $19.8 trillion, whereas India GDP is $8.07 trillion and Pakistan's GDP is $0.94 trillion. Pakistan GDP is roughly about 12% of India's GDP. India's GDP is about 40% of China's GDP. It means GDP के अकॉर्डिंग अगर देखा जाए तो सबसे बड़ी GDP वाला कंट्री है चाइना, सेकंड नंबर इंडिया एंड थर्ड नंबर इज पाकिस्तान। सेकंड पॉइंट सेक्टोरल कंट्रीब्यूशन। Proportion made by agriculture, industry and service sector to the GDP, country's GDP. How people engage in different sectors contributed to the gross domestic product can be seen from the following table. ये टेबल 2015 to 17 की ली गई है। इसमें कंट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ जीडीपी में एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर में पाकिस्तान का सबसे ज़्यादा शेयर 25% है, जबकि सेकंड नंबर पे इंडिया एंड थर्ड नंबर पे चाइना। इंडस्ट्रियल सेक्टर में चाइना सबसे आगे है 43%, इंडस्ट्री सेकंड नंबर पे इंडिया और थर्ड नंबर पे पाकिस्तान। इसी तरह से अगर सर्विस सेक्टर के बारे में देखते हैं तो सबसे ज़्यादा सर्विस सेक्टर में 54% पाकिस्तान, 53 इंडिया एंड 48% चाइना का देखने को मिलता है। जबकि डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ वर्कफोर्स में अगर हम बात करें तो एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर में सबसे ज़्यादा जो डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन है 42.7% वो इंडिया में है, सेकंड पाकिस्तान 42% एंड चाइना 17.3%। इंडस्ट्रियल सेक्टर में अगर देखा जाए तो चाइना में सबसे ज़्यादा 26.5%, इंडिया में 23.8% एंड 3.7% इन पाकिस्तान। एंड लास्टली सर्विस सेक्टर में अगर देखा जाए तो चाइना सबसे बड़ा डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ वर्कफोर्स 56% एंड सेकेंड नंबर पाकिस्तान 54.3% एंड लास्ट इंडिया 33.5%। तो इस तरह से हम एग्रीकल्चर, इंडस्ट्री एंड सर्विस सेक्टर में कंट्रीब्यूशन टू जीडीपी एंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ वर्कफोर्स को देख सकते हैं। इसके बाद आगे बढ़ते हैं, आउटपुट ग्रोथ इन डिफरेंट सेक्टर। Trends in output growth in different sector, that is agriculture, industry and service sector of India, China and Pakistan, can be seen from this table. यहाँ पे कंपैरिजन किया गया है 1980 एंड 90 में इंडिया, चाइना एंड पाकिस्तान में तीनों सेक्टर्स का क्या क्या जीडीपी था, और 2011 एंड 2015 में एग्रीकल्चर, इंडस्ट्री, सर्विस सेक्टर में तीनों कंट्री का क्या क्या जीडीपी हो गया। तो सबसे पहले हम देखते हैं एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर के बारे में। इन द लास्ट 3 decades द ग्रोथ ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर विच एम्प्लॉयज द लार्जर proportion of workforce in all the 3 countries has declined significantly. And second is industry sector. In the industry sector, for all 3 countries growth rate has declined. And service sector, in the service sector India was able to raise its rate of growth during 1980 to 2015, while for Pakistan and China growth rate has declined. China's growth is mainly contributed by the manufacturing and service sector. India's growth is mainly contributed by the service sector. Pakistan has shown deceleration in all 3 sectors. इस तरह से हम इस टेबल से शॉर्टली जान सकते हैं। आगे बढ़ते हैं, इंडिकेटर्स ऑफ human development. Let us analyze how India, China and Pakistan have performed in some of the selected indicators of human development. First is Human Development Index. As per Human Development Report 2018, HDI for India is 0.640 and China is 0.752 and Pakistan 0.562 in 2016-17. On the basis of HDI values, these countries were ranked India 130, China 86 and Pakistan 150. इसका मतलब सबसे ज़्यादा ह्यूमन डेवलपमेंट इंडेक्स चाइना का रहा, सेकंड इंडिया का एंड थर्ड पाकिस्तान का। नेक्स्ट इज लाइफ एक्सपेक्टेंसी. Life expectancy at birth refers to the average number of years for which people are expected to live. China has the highest life expectancy of 76.4. Life expectancy at birth for India is 68.8 and Pakistan is 66.6 years. Next is GDP per capita, that is P US dollar. China has the highest GDP per capita of US dollar, that is 15,309, and India is 6,427 US dollars and Pakistan 5,035 US dollars. Next point is people below poverty line. For the proportion of people below the international poverty rate of $3.20 a day, 60.4% people in India live below the poverty line. For China 23.5% and Pakistan 46.4%. Next is infinite mortality rate. It refers to the number of infants dying before 1 year of age per 1,000 live birth in a year. IMR is lowest in China with 8.5 and highest in Pakistan with 64.2. In India, the IMR is 34.6. And the last point is maternal mortality rate. It refers to the number of maternal death in a population divided by the number of women of reproductive age. In China, for 1 lakh births, only 27 women die. In India, MMR is 175 and Pakistan is 178 per 1 lakh births respectively. तो इस तरह से हम तीनों कंट्रीज़ का कंपैरिजन कर सकते हैं। डेवलपमेंटल इंडिकेटर्स हमने तीनों कवर कर लिए। थैंक यू वेरी मच।